that the design of rock belongs to the Cambrian, or rather Precambrian strata excavation. Unless highly evolved creatures, except for single-cell or trilobites, most any other creatures don't exist. But these patterns are clearly the work of some unknown highly evolved creature. I'd like to see more drilling and blasting further west.
In my geological eye, look not unlike some of the ripple effects reasonably common in the sedimentary rocks, since slate is no more than a metamorphic formation, into which a sedimentary stratum is pressed, since the pressure itself produces odd distorting effects on any markings which may exist. Found no reason for extreme wonder over the strata depression. We decided to go ahead with our original plan and set up a new camp after flying 500 miles east, before the transfer. However, Blake stubbornly insisted on making some expeditions to the northwest. It seemed that he had thought long and hard about the marking of triangular stripes appearing in the slate and had decided to give it a try anyway. From January 11 to 18, Blake, Abodi and 5 others embarked on the first northwest drilling expedition by sled, and unearthed more arcane slate samples with them.
If we can prove that these are biological traces, it will rewrite the current history of the origin of life. Because this means that Earth has seen whole cycle or cycles of organic life, before known one that begins with archaeozoic cells.
These slate fossils only show that primitive organisms that should have appeared in the Precambrian period appeared much earlier. This is not so inconsistent with modern perception.
I think most people agree with me that these fossils are worth changing our original plan.
I see. Those who wish to explore the northwest will leave tomorrow, led by Lake. On January 22, Lake set out with 4 planes, most of them men, and all the equipment, leaving only Papo D, 5 others, and me. The first wireless message we received came only 2 hours later. When Lake spoke of descending and starting a small-scale ice melting in the water, at a point some 300 miles away from us. In the evening, after collecting some slate fragments with strange markings, they took off again, the biting cold wind. And when I dispatched a message of protest against further hazard, Blake replied curtly that his new specimens made any hazard worth taking. I saw that his excitement had reached the point of mutiny, that I could do nothing to check this headlong risk of the whole expedition's success. Then in about an half more, and a doubly excited message from Lake's moving plane, which almost reversed my sentiment. It made me wish I had accompanied the party.
10:05 p.m. in flight. After the snowstorm, the highest mountains ever seen appeared ahead. The highest peak must be over 35,000 feet, and even Mount Everest has absolutely no comparison. All peaks black and bare of snow, bill blowing off them impedes navigation. Great range, fairly solid, hence can't get any glimpses beyond. Odd formations on slopes of highest mountains, great low square blocks with exactly vertical sides. Think I saw ramparts squarely on top of one peak. Close flying shoes, many cave mouths, some unusually regular in outline, square or semicircular.
Out of this gigantic mountain rampart 700 miles away, inflamed our deepest sense of adventure. And we rejoiced that our expedition, if not ourselves personally, had been its discoverer. The next morning I had a 3-cornered wireless talk with Lake and Captain Douglas at their widely separated bases. It was decided that after we had closed down our camp, Lake would send a plane back to pick up us and me. Lake's camp lay a little more than 5 miles from where the higher foothills abruptly rose. He had set up the drill and put 5 men to work, while the rest finished settling the camp and repairing the damage to rope line. On labors, however, were not very steady after camp. For about that time, Lake began sending in the most extraordinary and excited messages. They had struck a camp.